So with me right now, I have Mike Adams, who's the new ventures manager of Norwell Engineering. Tell us a little bit about yourself, the company, who you are, what you do, before we actually look and see what you're doing in Tanzania, because I hear that you've been in Africa for quite a number of years.
Yeah, so as a company, we've been in Africa for 20 years. We've worked in over 16 countries in Africa, from the north all the way around to the west. And then since 2012, we've been one of the main representatives for well engineering and managing drilling projects here in East Africa. Personally, I have been involved in East Africa since 2013. I've been involved in our Kenyan operations, all the way to the north of Kenya, with a Somali border, and then also all the way down to the south of Tanzania in Mtwara last year.
So what is it that you think that you can offer Tanzania in the area of skills development in the oil and gas sectors?
Well, our experience, which is in engineering, project management, and the entire upstream life cycle, extends all the way back to 1989. And we have a strong commitment as a company to hire graduate engineers and to train them up, and then some stay and some go, and we have a long history of doing that. But we also work with national oil companies, we work with service companies, and we work with oil companies all over the world. And one of the things that we've seen, we value internal training and training our guys up, but one of the things that we see is that training is not as available for other people, be at a service company or at a national oil company or at an oil company. So when we were redeveloping our training to meet the newest, best standards in the UK, and we took 5 years to develop that material, we started thinking a bit more broadly about what does the industry need, what does East Africa need, that's my experience down here. And we definitely found that training was just not accessible. Not accessible in Aberdeen, but also not accessible here in Dar es Salaam. And I've spent the last 18 months trying to find ways to make our material as accessible to the widest possible audience.
And how have you done that?
So, like I said, we've spent 18 months on that process, and that has almost been as challenging of a process as that of actually writing the material. Trying to address the technicality of the upstream value chain has been hard, but we have done that, and we've used our expert engineers to write that material. But it has been just as hard to look at the industry and try and think of a way that we can get that out to more people than ever before. And I would say our realization came around 3 points, and we then integrated that within our platform design. The first was that modern training has to be online. If we want to access more people than ever before, we need to make it easy for those people to access, be it on their phone or their tablet, and whether or not they live in Mtwara or in Mumbai, we have to make it online. I know there's a lot of emphasis on face-to-face learning, and face-to-face learning is fantastic. A blended learning approach is fantastic, and we would advocate that people need to learn face-to-face, they need to learn on the job, but in many cases, a bulk of that training is not happening because it is too expensive to access and it's too difficult. So if we can make that online, hopefully we can access more people. The second area, we felt that in the industry, for too long, we've protected our knowledge. And so companies, primarily in Europe and the US, we've protected our information, and we've maybe given training to our employees, but maybe new employees, and when we go into new countries, hiring lots of new employees, it's difficult to give them that same level of training. And also, if we keep all that training in our own headquarters, it can be very expensive to give that training to other people. So making e-learning accomplished a bit of that, but the other side was we felt that our training needs to belong to individuals in the industry. If you come to us and you go online and you sign up and you start doing some training, we feel it would be hypocritical if when that person left, either they didn't want to keep paying or they moved jobs, that we would somehow keep that training. So we have made it belong to that user. If you come to us and you do some training, it's always yours for the rest of your life. Your profile with us is free, and if you complete courses and you complete assessments or you complete an exam, you will always have access to that material no matter what your situation is. We have to make it affordable. It has to be affordable for people in Aberdeen, companies in Aberdeen. It has to be affordable for people and companies in Tanzania. And so we've adopted a Netflix-style subscription model, and we've taken advice from lots of people in the tech industry on how to best develop an affordable subscription model, and that's what we'll be rolling out.
Okay, so where has this worked? You think it's quite successful, and you think that Tanzania should not leave out this opportunity? And what stage are you with, trying to introduce this initiative in Tanzania?
As a concept, this is totally new to the industry. There is no affordable upstream online training available. We've actually not launched it yet. We'll be launching in the spring. And we are here in Tanzania to try and generate interest and talk about our pilot project that's running over the winter. We're looking for groups in Tanzania to come on to test it. What is our software like? Do you enjoy it? What is our content like? What do you want to see us do in the future? We're going to reinvest all our money back into developing new content, 3D content, virtual reality content, and we want to hear from people as early as possible so that we can, inform our long-term development plan. But we'll be launching probably around the springtime. We've just been in Uganda. It was the first country we visited, and a great reception there, and we've got over 100 people now in Uganda to take part in the pilot project. It would be fantastic to also see that here in Tanzania. I'll also be coming back in November to speak at various universities about the importance of giving young people the best start in the oil industry. And again, I think if we're going to do that, it has to be affordable and it has to be online.